Helping Races Clean House, Part 5, the Cadillac Edition. How Black America Saved Cadillac. Now, I'm willing to bet this is going to be by far the most interesting story you are going to hear all day. Boy, my freckles really come out in the sun, don't they? The truth be told, I think Cadillac is probably America's most well known biracial brand. Have I got your attention yet? Now, I asked Boo Boo here what he knew about Cadillac, and he didn't know a damn thing. Most people don't. Do you know Cadillac was formed in 1902 from the remnants of Ford? I kid you not. Henry Ford had two failed car companies before starting Ford Motor Company. His second was the Henry Ford Company, and in 1902 it went under and he was selling off the assets, and a man named Henry Leland, along with two investors, bought the company and renamed it Cadillac. Have you ever wondered where the name Cadillac comes from? I might know a thing or two about that. Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac is the man who discovered Detroit, Michigan in 1701. Now, in 1909, General Motors acquired Cadillac, and they became America's top luxury auto manufacturer. But when the Great Depression hit in the late 1920s, everything went to crap for everybody, including Cadillac. They lost 84% of their sales in a 5-year span from 1928 to 1933, and General Motors convened their board to put Cadillac on the chopping block. My girl made me put that in there. It's a yucca plant or something, I don't know. So Cadillac had the board convened in 1933, and in walked Nicholas Drostat, a German-born man, lived here in America, who was a genius mechanic and head of Cadillac's service division. He came in and said, I can turn Cadillac around in 18 months. Naturally, the board called BS on him, but was curious how. He said, I travel to our service centers and dealerships all around the country, and I see elite Black Americans driving our Cadillacs, the doctors, the lawyers, the entertainers. He goes, but Cadillac has a policy where we discourage sales to people of color because we don't want it to tarnish the brand. And he goes, these Black Americans are paying white men $300 on top of the price of the car to buy the car for them so they can drive caddies. He goes, I bet if we take that away and we just open the doors, I think we can turn Cadillac around. They agreed. And in 1934, Cadillac did just that. Sales went up 70% in 1 year. Black Americans bought so many Cadillacs, it literally changed the fortunes of the company. Now remember, Cadillac was hurting as a brand because banks had failed, right? White America lost all their savings, everything. Well, the funny thing about the law of unintended consequences, if you remember, a lot of Black Americans could not get loans from banks and could not keep their money in banks. So I don't really ever see this talked about, and I find this fascinating, but I know a lot of Black Americans had to keep money hidden away at home, the backyard, the mattress, or whatever. So when the Great Depression hit and the banks failed, Black Americans not being able to put their money in banks were protected. And they were able to buy these cars, luxury items, in the middle of the Great Depression and turn Cadillac around. In a way, I think Cadillac transcends all races. Now, Cadillac has owned their history when they wouldn't sell to African Americans and then began to. They've actually owned that, okay? So no shade to Cadillac whatsoever. And they were also, I cannot prove they were definitively the first company, but I know they were one of the very first auto manufacturers to consult with Black employees about car design ideas to make the car more appealing to all Americans. And I think this worked. My dad's dream car was a Cadillac sedan DeVille. In 1986, we got one, silver, red leather interior. He drove that thing to the Baptist church like he was boss freaking hog. That man loved that Cadillac. But here's the thing, a Black man, a Hispanic man, an Asian man, anybody could pull up to him of a different race in a Cadillac, and they start talking Cadillac stories, they're family instantly. Go to any car show and watch the same phenomenon happen. Most of you, depending any color you are or race, your parents or grandparents probably owned a Cadillac at one point or another. So it's just kind of funny how white America started and built this brand. Black people worked there, couldn't buy the cars. Cadillac realized the error of their ways and opened the doors all the way. And look at the success of Cadillac today. So that's kind of why I think they're the most well-known biracial brand in America. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have a great weekend.